Tonight we're at the Greenyards in Melrose, the home of the Southern Knights, for live coverage of the FOSROC Super6 Sprint Series as Southern Knights welcome Stirling County in round 3. The whole match is coming live right here on FreeSports. Kick-off less than 15 minutes away. Good to have you with us. The Southern Knights trying to be third time lucky after being winless in this competition so far. I'm delighted to welcome Ciaran Beattie, the Scotland Sevens coach. Beautiful night here in Melrose, looking for a great game.
It's a belter, isn't it? Yeah, and hopefully the rugby plays up to the weather that we've got today as well.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you would expect so far this side to be with a few wins under their belt, but so far winless for the home side.
Absolutely, I think we're seeing a transition in this squad as well. The Southern Knights squad. There's a big changeover, a lot of young faces, and they're bound to come good at some stage.
And of course Ben Cairns got a great win with Stirling County last week, so they'll go into this with a lot of confidence.
It was a massive win, absolute massive win against their rivals, Ayrshire Bulls, who were obviously so successful last season. So they'll be full of joy, they'll be full of confidence coming into this one, especially against a winless Southern Knights. Should be exciting.
Of course, in last week's Stirling County had 1,500 people at Bridge Hall there as well, so it was a brilliant atmosphere for them. I'm not sure how many people are going to be here this evening, but a home crowd will be very important for Southern Knights.
It does, and just to touch on that, it's great. This Super6, FOSROC Super6 is growing and growing season on season, and it's great to see that level of support. And you would think tonight, a couple of beers, guys will come down and watch this.
Absolutely, it is a beautiful evening, there's no doubt about it, the Eildon Hills in the background there, but quite a few changes for both sides tonight as well.
Yeah, it's good, and I think the coaches are using this sprint series to try their squad, try the younger guys, not feel afraid to actually potentially look at development over performance sometime and potentially wins. So that's exciting as well, and we'll see that in a couple of the changes tonight.
And the format, of course, is there's a split coming up as well, so you have to be in the top half to have a chance to win the competition. So you don't have time to kind of lose a couple of games.
You don't, and this is the beauty of this series as well. It's every game's going to really count. It really matters. Every moment matters, and that's it. You're putting these young guys in this cauldron of pressure. Can they deal with it as well?
Absolutely.
It'll be good to watch.
It will be indeed. So what do you think will be key this evening? Because there's no wind, it's a beautiful evening, so I mean it's going to be open rugby, or we hope anyway.
It doesn't feel like we're in Scotland, does it?
It doesn't.
So we've got a 4G pitch, we've got sun shining, it feels like 7, so it's home for me. I hope to see some open rugby, and I think you've got two coaches, two teams who are keen to do that as well, so hopefully, fingers crossed, should be a cracker.
And obviously the home side, I mean, they will be frustrated going into this one with no wins, and there are some very young guys in that squad as well, so managing that kind of the losses, I guess, will be key for them.
Yeah, I mean, and fair play to Bruce Ruthven and the Southern Knights squad is they've still rotated, they've still trying their youngsters, they're still giving it a crack, they're staying true to their word, because it could be quite easy at this stage to go, let's bring in the old guard, let's see how we go, but no, they're going for it, they're trusting these young guys. And do you know what? Let's see how they go.
Absolutely. Let's see how they go. First up, though, let's hear from both coaches. Bruce, let's talk about the first 2 weeks. I mean, how frustrating has it been for you? You're winless at the moment, although there were some good signs last week.
Yeah, I mean, we have to put everything into perspective. We're only 2 games in. We've literally got 60% of a new squad, a really young profile of a squad, and it's in all honesty, it's just going to take a bit of time. We played better last week against Watsonians than we did the first week across at Golden Acre v Heriots, and there's a lot of promising signs. We've got a really buoyant group. The guys are really positive of where we're at, but also there's an understanding where we're at as well. I mean, we know it's going to take time, and this is a sprint series. However, we're looking to rotate squads, give people game time, and look to the championship to really be rolling really well by then.
Now, you said you're relying on youth, and you've got Ben Afshar coming in. He's this young at 9, and Cameron Scott as well at 10. So that's a very young pairing, but tell me what they're going to bring tonight.
Well, yeah, Ben's probably played about 15 games of senior rugby in his whole life so far. So, Ben's a promising young player who's, involved in the academy up in Edinburgh, coming to Merchiston. And he's got a lot of great attributes. I'd say, he's good in the break. He's a really good kicker of the ball. He can kick penalties from 55 metres. So, for a young fella like that, it's a fair accolade for him to be doing. But him and Cammy, it's we could have another half-back pair in there. It's just as young, but Cammy's really grown in stature, and we're trying to give him more and more ownership where he's at this season. And him and Ben tonight, it's great conditions, young fellas running about, so we're expecting big things.
So Ben, you must be pretty pleased with the result last week, yeah?
Yeah, it was a really good performance from us. I think built on a lot of emotion, and I think we got a lot of energy from the big vocal support we had at home against a really good team. Reigning champions, four pros involved, but we just stuck at it, really dug in well, and came away with a result.
Maybe Stirling in the past have kind of fallen out of games after going ahead, so you must be delighted that you were able to stick into it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was that period after half time. I think we went 21 minutes where it was air possession essentially the whole time. Dug in eventually, leaked a try, and then 4 minutes later, having defended for 21 minutes, 4 minutes later we scored a try ourselves to take us back into a good position in terms of margin of leads. So and then we kept onto it from there.
Now Lewis Skinner's back in his prop tonight, and Benedict Grant is making his debut at 8. We know about Lewis Skinner, but what about this guy Benedict Grant? What's he going to bring?
Yeah, so Benny was here a few years ago. He played for Mar in the Premiership just before COVID. He was a standout ball carrier in the Premiership. So we've had tabs on him since then, and great to be able to do a deal to get him across. He was meant to be here for the start of the season, a bit delayed coming across for his sister's wedding, but he's here now, and we're really looking forward to seeing him play.
We wish you all the best tonight.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful night. It's all set for a wonderful match. Southern Knights against Stirling County coming up after this short break. Welcome back to the Greenyards, one of the most picturesque rugby grounds in the whole country for Southern Knights, who are desperate for a win against very confident Stirling County. The whole match coming up live here on Free Sports in the company of Ciaran Beattie and Hugh MacLennan.
Thank you very much, Dougie. A very warm welcome, everybody, to the iconic images of the Greenyards and the surrounding Eildon Hills. Much to my disappointment, my co-commentator Ciaran Beattie has conceded it wasn't him who took off from the top of the mountains this afternoon, on a parachute. Much to my disappointment, Ciaran. I'll take that up with you later. So the teams tonight, the home team, first of all, Bruce Ruthven, 60% a new squad, he said earlier, and the pack, however, has a settled look. Wallace Nelson retains the number 7 shirt, a dynamic captain Fraser Rennick at number 2, and at number 8 Harry Borthwick. An interesting lineup at 9 and 10. Ben Afshire comes in with Cammy Scott playing at number 10. Interesting backline, Patrick Anderson on one side, Billy Wara in the middle with the experienced Robbie Chalmers and the pace of Ian Sim on the other wing, with Kieran Clark at fullback. And an interesting bench, strong bench, Murray Redpath, Nathan Chamberlain and Jacob Henry back from the Scottish 7 squad will all come on. The visitors, well buoyed by their win last week, a terrific result. They have a late change at number 5 where Harris McLeod has come in place of Adam Sinclair, which means that Harris McLeod obviously has given his place on the bench to Callum Norrie at number 19, the young 17-year-old from Strathallan. Main feature of Stirling's team, their exciting backline. Walter Fifita, the Glasgow Warrior on one wing, on the other Ross McKnight, and at the very back Logan Trotter, man of the match in that victory against the Ayrshire Bulls last week. And a strong bench too, with a number of debuts to come tonight. Jake Spurway and Callum Beckett alongside Mike Gray. So it's an interesting evening up here in the hot house. Ciaran Beattie's made his way up here. Absolutely glorious conditions. I mean, you remarked on it earlier when you were down there. You couldn't ask for a better night for rugby, could you?
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect tonight. And as you say, glorious sunshine, but we've got this beautiful 4G pitch as well. Hoping for some good rugby to match, I think.
And the biggest change of all, of course, is the fact that the last time you and I were here commentating on the Southern Knights, as I mentioned earlier, Bruce Ruthven has said 60% new squad. It is a new team, really.
It is, and as I said there at the start, it's fair play to the Southern Knights, fair play to Bruce. He's trying his squad out, he's trying these young guys. It is a young squad, and they're a bit of the unknown package this year in the Sprint Super 6 series, aren't they? So really exciting to see how they go in front of their home crowd.
So they're looking longer term, but for Stirling County tonight, as we mentioned, there's the split coming. Now, Heriots and Watsonians could tomorrow do them a big favour if they have a good win tonight. That could ensure their place in the split as we go forward. So it's a big match for both teams for different reasons.
It's a big weekend. It's a big weekend, no doubt about it. And that's what's exciting about this. Every game, every moment's going to matter over this weekend as well. So it makes it exciting. Stirling just have to focus on their job tonight, don't they? They need to do their part in that and then see what happens thereafter.
It's a sprint for sure, and Stirling have pace to burn in their backline in particular. This evening's referee is Rory Campbell.
What are we waiting for?
And the home team are in white tonight. Stirling County in their normal hooped colours, and they will be playing as they've lined up as we watch the game.
All right.
As you see it on the screen from right to left, Stirling, and we have the opposite view because we are in that iconic stand.
Okay, white's ready.
So a terrific night in prospect. Lots at stake. Stirling County on their first Friday night match of this FOSROC Super 6 Sprint Series. Get the game underway. So the night's going to be interesting to see how their 9 and 10 combination, Ben Afshire and Cammy Scott, impose themselves or try and impose themselves in the game, particularly early on the aerial route. Stirling County lost it, they've spilled it. The referee didn't see anything wrong with that. Harry Russell at 9 for Stirling. one of the other Russells. Sure he won't mind me saying that, but there's always some sparks around when there's a Russell in the field, and Ewan Cunningham playing with him at 10, but Stirling keen to run the ball. Coming out below us here in the stand, forceful run from number 14, Ross McKnight. Scored the first try last week with a classic length of the field run. Got their 5-try bonus win against last year's champions. It's a huge win. Of course, Southern Knights were in that final last year, but have since undergone a huge transformation. There's some tactical kicking. Not a breath of wind tonight to affect the kickers. It's a good chase, but
red.
Plenty of time now for the Knights to run this back. And again, testing a different type of kick this time, going for territory. It's an interesting opening phase of play. Both teams keen to run the ball. No reason not to on a night like this.
It was, yeah, I think weirdly both teams will be happy with that. Stirling have had plenty of possession. Everybody's had a touch of the ball. Southern Knights managed to get their defence up and running.
Gets the heart rate up.
Absolutely. There was a bit of a stalemate, a bit of a kicking battle, and Knights probably get the net gain there.
Knights to deliver and take the back, and off they go. Flat pass. Advantage coming.
You're fine, but it's a high tackle.
Just fraction high with the tackle. I thought it was for actually for offside. First of all, they were very quick up there, Ciaran.
They were good line speed from Stirling. They've kind of shown that in these first 2 games as well. But Rory Campbell's called that for a high tackle, which is fair play. He's on the mark as always.
Now we heard about the kicking prowess of this fella.
Midfield.
55 metres was quoted at one point in the discussion pre-match, but
10.
Difficult to kick this and not take your eye off the view.
Yeah, I've missed a few there. No, as you say, not a breath of wind tonight. This'll he's bang in front of the post, and actually sometimes the longer ones just actually promote your strike a little bit easier. So he'll actually be quite happy with this one as his first one.
Quite a quick run up. He's given it a lot of height, and that's perfectly judged. Actually, both assistant referees had a long, hard look at that, Ciaran, because it dropped just. It was hugely high, but it's over.
A bit short of the 55 metres there, but he's probably got more in the tank. Just saving it for later in the game. Just did enough, didn't he?
Nice, easy swing.
Just let me get out of the way first.
Plumb centre. 3 points to the good. 4 minutes on the clock. This best possible start for the Southern Knights to get themselves on the board so early after so much ping pong. A good decision rather than be too greedy too early.
Yes.
Up he goes again. Trotter waits. Man of the match last week, the FOSROC Super 6 player of the match. And again going for territory here. It's going to bounce inwards. And the chase was good, but the Knights have cleared that rather effective. And again, their execution is very, very good, Ciaran. They're staying very calm under this knockabout.
They are. Ciaran Clark, excellent kick there under pressure. Beat his man Ross McKnight and has cleared the danger there.
County increasing the pace, taking a quick line out.
What's that, White?
It's an early tackle and a great burst through. Hit that line at pace. I think it was Connor Gordon who arrived like a train there. And here they come again. Relentless ball carrying from the Stirling County attack. But this time, good work in the ground.
It's on the ball. Holding.
Southern Knights 3-0 up here, and they've not actually had the ball yet, have they? Every time they've had it, they've played smart, they've kicked some good territory.
And interesting,
Defended really well.
from almost the same position, they've decided this time they're not going for the posts.
Yeah, well, he hit it. I think he had half a metre to spare there, and he's about 2 metres further back. So.
Yeah, I think it was just. I think we saw him at full range there in the kicked attempt, but that's good territory though. 22-metre line.
Been impressed with Ben Afshar actually. He's had a couple of nice touches so far in the game, hasn't he?
Steady.
Nerves. Very steady.
Yeah.
Some more.
Again, good execution from the Knights. They've got Fraser Rennick, the dynamic hooker who's everywhere. Every time we see him, he covers every blade of the 4G. And they made a really solid rumble here. He has to go now. Roddy Campbell has told him.
Don't change. No.
As long as they maintain their binding and the momentum, off he goes. He's broken. He's seen the gap himself. 3 metres out. He's got Ashfar with him. He's almost made it on his own. He's got the pack with him now. They stretched them though.
Release.
Within the 5-metre line. Ashfar guiding, but they've come this way. They've come the tight side. They're going to have to go the other way now. It's Dalton Redpath. The cavalry charge. Here's Rennick again, twisting and turning, trying to deliver the ball back. Ashford goes in. And another charge, this time again. It's Redpath. Good pressure. Oof. Borthwick flattened. And they've spilled it. Rory Campbell says it's fine, but Ashford's got it again. He goes on his own. He's taken 4 men with him there. 4 defenders, but just didn't have the support in the right angle. Maybe not quite the right decision there, Ciaran.
Maybe not the right decision, but great defence from Stirling County there. I think they've had their hands on the ball a lot. That's the first time they've had to really shore up there. And fair play to them. It was on their 5 metre. I thought great tackle for Logan Trotter right on the line there, and just managed to slow it up and give his team enough time to set their defence and come away with the ball. Yeah,
there was one tackle and I think it was Harry Borthwick copped it. He was flat on his back.
White.
And they had, it was a feature of their win last week, was that 20-minute spell where Ben Cairns was talking about. I think they were under the cosh. They hardly had their hands on the ball for 20 minutes, and then they can turn their tactics to the more direct route. Off they go again, attacking at pace. He's going all the way. He's stopped by Ciaran Clark with a great tackle.
Advantage offside.
They've gone again out left, and they have an advantage coming. I think it's Robbie Chalmers has been pinged. They're playing again. Nice dummy.
New advantage, high tackle.
Another advantage coming for the high tackle. And good defence from the Knights.
Hold.
Loads of variety in the Stirling attack.
Yeah. Still playing advantage.
Here they come, the men over on the near side to us. Trotter's got plenty of space, and he's managed to guide. The timing of the pass was absolutely perfect, and he's managed to get Ross McKnight in. McKnight got Stirling County's first try last week, and he really won't get much easier than that to convert, but the timing of Logan Trotter's pass at the very end there was exquisite. He just held it, and off he went.
Lovely, very composed for Logan Trotter in the end there. Just squares up his man, squares up Ciaran Clark, just bides his time, showing all the patience in the world and putting him away. But great work from Stirling County there in terms of their build up to that, their patience. Ewan Cunningham really orchestrating that thing from 10, not demanding the ball until he wanted it, and then setting that backline away, which, as you said already, is an exciting backline. And again, they're on the score sheet.
Yeah, there's a terrific triangle between the two wingers, Fifita, McKnight, and the fullback Trotter. It's the warning signs are there, but 11 minutes in, Southern Knights still competitive. Well, that was almost identical to the one at the other end, but this one dropped short. It's not the wind. High tee, perhaps. Just the rangefinder not working yet.
Who knows, early on in the game, they maybe just need to commit to the kick a little bit more, but keeps it interesting. 2-point game. Both teams have had hands on the ball. Both teams have defended now, so they're well into it.
Stirling Knights is Southern Knights, not Stirling Knights. Southern Knights 3, Stirling County 5 after 11 and a half minutes, which is a pretty fair reflection of how the game has gone. But certainly when Stirling have their hands on the ball, they're looking like they're up for going for securing their position in this FOSROC Super 6 Sprint Series. Good turnover though from the Southern Knights.
Go. Ball's available.
Not committing too many men.
Advantage offside.
An advantage
Offside.
coming to the Knights. Offside, Stirling County. Ashfar in again. Short chip out to the wing, which is well taken. Patrick Anderson just didn't have the space to let fly. He just had to check his run at the very last minute. Here's Ashfar again, the heart of everything. He's certainly in tune with Cammy Scott, there's no doubt about that. Out to the middle, and this time Borthwick. And Redpath, back 5 and forward 10.
Okay,
wins the penalty.
They come round as well.
You have to say, if it was a boxing match, you say they're trading blows here.
They certainly are.
Clear release,
Both sides of the ball. It can be quite easy sometimes when your attack's going like it is to then you suddenly find yourself defending and you're not up to the challenge. Stirling are doing that in spades actually. Both sides of the ball working really well so far. And you know, Knights throwing the kitchen sink at them there. Paddy Anderson, you'd bet your bottom dollar he's taking that and beating his first man, but great defence from Ross McKnight.
And certainly the link between Afshar and Cammy Scott is clicked early on.
Yeah, it has. Bruce Rutherford mentioned at the top of the programme.
Overthrow.
Still in.
Just taking the momentum away from the Knights.
No. Let's go.
Russell. Good chance for the Knights to run back at them though. Chase was good. Afshar. And again the left foot. Trotter has read that well. And this time a favourable bounce.
Also alive.
Has taken the ball out, and that secures a major chunk of territory. And you get the feeling this is what Stirling are going to do. They're almost happy to let the Knights come at them and then hit them over the back.
Yeah, Cammy Scott will be disappointed with that one. The idea was right, he just didn't quite connect with it, and Logan Trotter's too good a player to pass up that opportunity, but really well executed kick, favourable bounce, and Knights are back under a little bit of pressure here.
And the ground staff here were watering the Greenyards this afternoon, if you would believe it, just to get it in absolutely perfect condition.
Just once.
Nobody gets their hands on the ball when it goes here, but Rennick, he calls all the shots, and for all Stirling have worked that. They're going to have to be careful because he is causing damage, as he does everywhere. And he comes off the back of these mauls.
He had no right to be getting that ball back the way he did. He got absolutely smashed by two players there. And he just seems to do the right things at the right time, doesn't he?
And the Knights have an injury here just
Sterling, on the line, please.
In front of the stand, which I think the referee will spot. And we'll have to do something about it. This delay, it's Daniel Sudden. So the pack, the Southern Knights pack, to be fair, although we've talked a lot about the changes in the personnel, the pack has a a pretty settled look about it now, and pivotal to all of that is the Redpath, Sudden, Borthwick triangle in the pack, because they're big, they're active, and they've got Rennick in front of them.
Absolutely, they've got a good spine of the team there in the pack there, as you said. Rennick, Redpath and Sudden and Borthwick, they've been there before, were very successful for them. And they seem to do exactly what Fraser Rennick's just done there.
I think he's done. This is a blow for the Knights. Yeah, I think his Knight's done. So Rory Knott looks like the replacement. That's unfortunate.
Let him come on, then you're on the line.
Plenty of experience coming on, and Rory Knott, obviously not like for like, but he won't do their chances any harm anyway.
He's coming on with the instructions. Remember, he had quite an impact on the game we did here last year. He was it's just the disruption after just 15, 16 minutes when things were beginning to gel, just getting the momentum, but we'll see how they cope. Straight into the game. Here they come again. Who else? Rennick thunders forward. Never shy of work, that's for sure. He's got all the skills you need from the modern hooker.
Always play that 9.
Oof. A little bit of juggling from our sub. Stirling line speed is really, really quick. They're not giving Southern Knights much time at all. Here's a chance though. Here's a chance. Oh, if he goes to the left, if he went outside, here's the replacement again. Not.
Inside.
Afshar. Redpath.
Tackle release. Away. You can play that.
Quick delivery is good from the Knights. They're getting the ball out to the 10 quickly. Here he comes again. The timing is excellent. They're inside the 22. Rennick again this time. He just plonks himself down, sets it up, and off they go again. Inside pass this time. The tackling is superb from Stirling, you have to say, and it's pressure. They put them under pressure all the time there. And there's another injury here. It's Harry Borthwick. Harry Borthwick, first of all, has called for assistance, and there's a Stirling player injured on the far side from us as well.
No, I'm okay.
That was an interesting passage of play, though.
It was good to actually see Southern Knights earn the right to go wide there. They were using their forwards, carrying really well, drawing in that Stirling defence, then playing to an edge. It was just interesting on that last one. That's the first time they've kind of went back inside. Against a rush defence like Stirling County, that's where they're strong. That's where they're trying to push you, and that's where the turnover happens. So will they learn their lessons? They've got a bit of time to debrief that now. Will they pick that up?
Fingers out.
Let's see.
Well, it's pretty hefty stuff. I mean, the tackling's good from both sides, but what I like about Afshar is the precision and the pace of his pass. He's delivering the ball quickly as long as he gets. If it's there, it's away.
Yeah, he's getting clean ball with this pack, who's carrying really well, being aggressive, getting beyond the gain line, which is putting on a plate for him. But he's got to stand up there and still deliver the ball well, and he is. He's a good start from the young 9 here.
Well, it takes a bit more than that to stop Harry Borthwick. So he's got a patch under his eye, as you can see, so that seems to be sufficient to keep him going. But he knew straight away what had happened, so hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
And again, the variation in the tactical kicking from Trotter is excellent. 1 minute it's territory, next minute it's shifting the Southern Knights' backs around. He's teasing them out just to see what they've got. Good challenge. Good challenge. It's deemed a knock-on though, but it was a good challenge from the Knights. That's maybe something Ben Cairns might not be too happy about, conceding that.
20 minutes, done well. Okay, left of the mark, please. You know the standards, stay low, stay straight.
So we're heading for the 20-minute mark, pretty much. Ciaran, fair reflection, 3-5?
I think so, yeah. I think Stirling have edged that. Just you seen their attack there. They've managed to turn the right, and then they got outside Southern Knights, where the slight difference there was Southern Knights forced back inside in their attack. So it is a fair reflection at the minute.
Solid scrum has gone down now, though. And the referee has agreed.
Dropping bind.
The binding let them down there.
Drop bind. Okay, I see.
Just didn't get it away quick enough. If he had got it out quicker, he'd have got away with it. So that gives Trotter an excellent chance now to push Stirling down into the corner. Almost a lackadaisical style, isn't it? A very leisurely approach he has to the kicking.
He does. He's been in training with us early on in the year with the sevens, and he just takes to anything like a fish to water. He's one of these annoyingly talented people.
He's lightning quick, isn't he?
Yes, glides as well. Looks like he's in third gear.
That's right. Option, captain. Scrum. Scrum called.
Choice to the Knights, and they're taking the scrum. That's the second line out that's gone wonky on the county side, so I'm sure Ben Cairns will be writing that in his notebook.
It is. This is an interesting call, because you're right there. Knights have had the upper hand in the line out. The last scrum they got penalised in, so they went back to it. They obviously feel they had a misjustice there, and they're going to try and right a few wrongs.
Bind! All right, here we go. Hold that weight, please. Mark on the mark.
20 minutes gone. Southern Knights 3, Stirling County 5 at the Greenyards. In the sunshine, the evening sun.
Let's go, Charlie, let's go. Big pressure. Second turn. Let's go.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Good, here we go.
Steady.
Move in.
Hold. Good, keep the height.
And the Knights have a bit of a nudge on here.
Okay, 9.
And he didn't quite get away, but Borthwick helped them out. They're quite happy to try and manoeuvre their way
You
out.
step back. You step back.
Create the opening
Use.
for Afshar.
Through the middle. He's through the middle.
They have to be careful, because Stirling counter-rucking was good. Afshar won't hang about this time, I don't think.
Use 9.
Let's put it right down. Trotter to the bulky physique of Afita. Was immediately closed down, because that's the only way to stop him, really, before he gets going. Again, the Knights have made good.
Straight off feet.
They were just going to say good progress in their work on their ground, and they're not committing too many people, but when they do commit, they're doing the job well.
They are. This is a spot-on penalty for anybody, youngsters watching at home. You just can't put your body weight over the ball like that. You need to look to support your body weight. And it was just a bit too. He just gave up the ghost a bit too easy there, and he's given some massive territory away. Great kick from Cammy Scott.
Yeah.
And look at that, what a big swing that is.
It's a beauty. It's his best of the evening. Look at where he's put them. So now it's down to Rennick.
Watch it around inside. No changing binds, please. No changing binds.
I would think Borthwick would be the recipient here. Borthwick or Redpath, one or the other. They are.
Broken off.
And breaking off the side again. They've managed to do that 2 or 3 times in this territory. This is danger territory now for Stirling.
Advantage.
Oh, fumbled. Good pressure, and they could break from here. They've got the advantage is over now, and the first time tackling has let the Knights down, and the third broke through 4 tackles there. Stirling pouring forward now. They have men all over the place. The Knights have regrouped. They've got themselves back into position. Conceded a penalty though, a little chip through. Now this is an interesting foot race. It's going to beat everybody and the referee's going to come back. Not even Trotter could catch that one.
Love that ambition from Stirling County on the line, the turnover there. Look at that. Fantastic. That's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see an open game, wanted to see 2 attacking teams, and fantastic. Pounced on that knock on from Rory, not on the line. He'll be disappointed with that, but absolutely fair play from Stirling.
Sterling.
But again, ambition from the Knights. They got good territory. They'll be disappointed with the execution. The line out worked fine. They broke away, and but it was Stirling's good tackling that created the fumble.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid there on the line, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're not afraid to put their shoulder in the way for the cause.
There's just an injury there for the Southern Knights, number 14, Ian Sim, on the touchline.
Time.
So the referee has just spotted the assistant referees come in. But looks like he's taking a head knock again. This worrying area of people taking these knocks, and he needs to be given time. It's starting to get cool in the stand, obviously. Jackets and hoodies and stuff appearing.
He's waiting for. Happy. Okay, that's fine. I thought it was okay in that one, but yeah, it's tight. I agree it was tight, but yeah, keep an eye.
Much pondering from the Knights coaches. Ross Ford, Bruce Ruthven.
Yeah, 14's off.
But they will, 25 minutes in, they'll be reasonably happy with this. They're still competitive in this game.
Very much so. Southern Knights, this young squad, certainly playing well.
Number 23 coming on, Ciaran, is one of yours, Jacob Henry, your sevens player, just trotting over there in front of the post, taking up as going on to the wing. That's a like-for-like replacement. So he replaces Ian Sim. So it's 23 on for 14 for the Knights. And again, good pressure. They've managed to win that. Again, they're challenges. Yeah, it's still not working the line out, is it, for Stirling?
No. I think the Knights have got the edge, definitely, both set pieces in the scrum and line out here. Ross Ford will be delighted with that, with this pack. As you said, though, this is where the experience lies for the Knights, isn't it? So they've went back to that. It's keeping a foothold in the game for them. Can this young back line open up now, and can we have a crack at them?
Well, tell us a wee bit more about Henry, what he's been doing with you.
Yeah, Jake's been in with us since just about December. He's had four tournaments with us out in Malaga, Seville, Singapore and Vancouver, and he's had a horrific time with injuries in the last couple of years, so great to sharpen him up for the type of player he is, and he's excelled at that. And, I'm really excited to see how he goes tonight, see how he transfers that sevens experience here at the Greenyards.
Well, he's got a quarter of an hour of the first half and the whole of the second half to do that.
Use it.
Interesting to see just how quickly you can get on the ball. And again, they're very patient, creating the opportunity for Afshar to clear the line. He's got a powerful boot in him. Could have been slightly quicker on the chase, but they managed to have got him. They've snarled him, but here they come, Stirling.
Use.
This time it's a bit shorter. It's not really made that much ground at all, and it's snaffled by Borthwick. Afshar to Isaac Brace. Again, multiple runners here, and Stirling were, if anything, they overshot that line. The height of the pass just took them into the wrong area, but that's well robbed there. It's a bit of an arm wrestle there between Marcus Holden and Billy Wara. It's like a bit of Cumberland wrestling more than anything else.
Tackle! Still in.
It's in there somewhere. Oh, and fumbled again. Well, that was a bit of mano-mano there, wasn't it? It's the sort of thing that you see in training a lot, but you don't actually see it in a game too much, where two guys just go head-to-head.
Yeah, a little pair. I think they forgot the game was on there, actually, in the little crack. But I think that's the first unforced error we've seen from Stirling. So fair play, 27, 28 minutes into the game there. You know, again, on that turnover there, we've seen what happened last time on their own line. They're so electric from there. If you keep that ball in hand, you never know what's happening at that point in the game. Knight's beginning to fatigue a little bit. Could have been interesting.
So Lewis Skinner is fine for Stirling County, number 3, and that's Rennick, I think, that's down for the Knights, which is worrying.
One down there. I thought you just gone up and just
It's his thigh that's the problem.
That's all. I'll keep an eye, but that's all.
No wonder when you think the territory he's covering and the pace he's doing it.
Okay, time on.
I'd like to see his stats.
Yeah, in the scrums and mauls.
Left and mark.
Maybe don't fancy it very much.
That was probably him in the parachute as well, coming down this afternoon. I don't think anything's beyond him. So a good set piece from the night so far, giving Afshar the chance to get Cammy Scott, get his backs running. Ideal place to launch an attack.
Set. Hold.
The number 19 there at flanker, Rory Knott, who came on for Daniel Sudden.
Stay bound.
There's that excellent pass this time. They miss out. One of the centres had that missed pass. Recovered though.
Tackle now.
Oh, and Rennick's dumped. Big shout from the Stirling bench, which is underneath us here in the main stand. Trotter again. He hasn't missed anything. He hasn't made much ground this time because he's scragged by Robbie Chalmers, who has to let him go. He's looking at Billy Wara's limping slightly. He's got a heavily strapped left knee anyway, but he seems to have taken a knock. He's not running that freely. That's well taken, but good chase by Stirling. And there's a gap. Oh, just a feeling there was a gap there. Borthwick sensed it, took off. And Knights have men over on the far side as we watch them.
Advantage.
And they've won a penalty.
Play advantage for the high tackle.
Here they come up. Wara, this time he looks as if he's running freely when he gets going.
Still advantage 9. Hold defence.
Redpath with another formidable charge. Oh, and that's
no advantage.
Very high pass to his shoulder, but that was it. A long advantage again given by Rory Campbell, but
number 8 high tackle.
Knights still have it.
Yeah, defence, still in defence again, holding up strong. Knights, to be fair to them, they're still throwing everything at this, still in defence. It's not like there's bad attack in there at all. You know, they're getting touchline to touchline, they're carrying hard, but Stirling just holding up at the minute.
What do you make? What's your own view of the high tackle issue? You know, it's in the game so much because people are tackling. To oversimplify it, standing up.
Careful with the timing.
It's,
It was tight last time.
you know, it is causing a
Careful
lot
with
of
the timing, it was
penalties
tight
even
last time.
tonight. They're not malicious tackles. It's all to do with the technique,
Stay on
the
your mark,
timing.
please, Sterling.
It's exactly that.
Knights in a
It's
step.
take away any
Knights in a
malicious
step.
tackling, absolutely. But just put a duty of care on the tackler as well. Like, you've got a responsibility to look after the guy you're tackling as well. So it is having an effect on the game, but the bigger picture is it's having a positive effect on players' health.
It's a massive clearance off the touchline boards. But this time the Knights line misfires. Russell delivers an almighty hoof.
One metre, please, Knights.
Again, Wara is very gingerly going back into the Southern Knights centre line. And again, a missed pass. The passing just breaking down in midfield, and that's enabling Stirling to charge through the middle. Russell very quickly. Trotter again. Danger. This time he thought better of giving it out to the winger. They've gone the other way. There's some indecision in midfield.
Advantage.
Penalty coming to Stirling.
Yeah, 23. It's fine, but he's offside.
Offside.
23.
So I think at this stage in the game, it'll be down the line, I would think.
What's that?
Another knock, I think, here.
Worth a try.
Another knock on from Southern Knights, and I think they've edged unforced errors, and ultimately that's why they're behind in the scoreline, because there's not a lot between them at the minute.
Yeah, but that is the key. That's the difference.
I think
3
that's
or 4
the
of
start,
them.
yeah.
So this is an ideal attacking position for Stirling County. They've put it exactly where they need to be. Ewan Cunningham.
I told him as well.
Oh, cool, calm and collected in the Southern Knights. Brains thrust, charging through. Oh, that's well worked. That is well worked by Stirling. And that's the hooker, Hiddleston. That's a smart move. That's the first, what you would say, the first well-executed line-out they've really done.
Yeah. Can I get a time check, please? They stayed on the ground there, didn't they, as well? They didn't go up. They just took all the aerial threat of Southern Knights away. Lovely. That's great.
Clever.
Training ground.
That's clever. They must have worked on that one for a while.
Lovely.
But you can see from the reaction that is absolutely perfectly executed. So 34 minutes in, Stirling County have opened that gap just a bit. Knights 3, Stirling County 10, with the possibility of 2 more to come. And that one down to Gregor Hiddleston.
I feel bad for making you come all the way across. Thanks, Walter.
A well-deserved slug of something.
Stoppage.
This is well within Holden's range. It's long, high, and I think it took a flick of the paint there on the way through.
You're getting tight kicks tonight, aren't you?
Wry smile, but it's enough, because that's put Stirling County ahead by 12 points to 3.
And there's the effect of that unforced error from Southern Knights.
They make them pay. That's why they're where they are in the league, and why Knights are where they are largely. They just need to eliminate these errors amongst 1 or 2 other things they have to do.
No. I said it was out. No, I said it wasn't out. Away tapper. Use.
So now the Knights have to try and stem this. They've got 4 minutes to see out.
Still in.
To eliminate the errors and not concede anything else. Oh, that's missed though. And they've luckily, I think that's going to go the Knights' way.
Sorry, say that again. White line out, okay. Reds.
White line out confirmed. So if they can just steady the ship and get to within a 1-score game going in at half time.
Reds.
Missed by Ewan Cunningham.
Take that. White, you come in a bit. Red on the line. White sits up 1 metre.
Oh, and the first mistake from Afshar, and then his head went down rather than play on. He fumbled. No, I think he was thinking ahead of where he was in the sequence of events.
Just lost control.
And that was unfortunate for the Knights, but he's taking all the different knock-ons into account.
I thought he lost control and then it gone forward. Yeah. Okay, white scrum.
So he's now come to the decision, Rory Campbell, that he's giving the ball back to the Knights.
Everything's worth a shot, isn't it?
So they've got away with it. Just, you could see, he just took his eye, but his reaction was the important thing. He just for a split second dwelled on the mistake rather than doing something about sorting it out.
Advantage was over.
We have just north of 2 minutes left in the first half of this FOSROC Super 6 Sprint Week 3 match from the Greenyards. Southern Knights 3, Stirling County 12.
Cheers. Okay, 9. Use.
Ashfar.
50-22's on.
Again, Logan Trotter, he spotted that
He was outside.
Knights were quite far up the pitch, but he didn't. He was outside the 22 anyway. So Knights desperately trying to recycle.
Tackle! Off 8.
Isaac Brace makes good ground again. He's had a couple of good surges.
Use.
Afshar's going to put it up again. Stirling have obviously worked that out because they're getting 2 good challengers in every time, but
4 minutes ago.
the end result is that the ball has gone to Stirling County and they will see out,
Yeah, 1 minute
I would
to go.
imagine, the last minute of regular time.
20 minutes, no scrums,
Rory
and then
Campbell has advised both teams that they are in the final minute of the first half.
Okay. Just waited. Time.
He's stopped the clock. Benedict Grant getting some attention.
8, you okay? Last minute. I'll give
I
you a
think
shout.
the referee will try and get this going as quickly as he can so he can get both teams in. So the sun goes down.
You good? Time on.
Shadows beginning to appear on the pitch now with the lights. The big beams are on. There's 1 or 2 evening shadows appearing.
Okay.
Clock ticking away. Wonderful evening on the Scottish borders.
Crouch! Bind!
Russell.
Set! Hold.
10 seconds, they'll hold it,
Okay, 9.
then release it and dispatch it, I would imagine. He's turned back the other way, that was risky, but Stirling showing some adventure here just before the interval. They're going to go for it. They're not that bothered about the last 10 seconds, and they've conceded possession to Southern Knights, who have set off through Borthwick. He's deemed to have gone 10 metres, so it's okay to carry on. They've spilled the ball though, and Stirling have it again. He's told them time is up, so they won't make the same mistake again, because Russell will make sure this time. And he has done,
Half time.
because they've sent the ball to the adjacent park, and that has brought half-time. Southern Knights 3, Stirling County 12, a fair reflection of the game. 2 tries to Stirling County. Southern Knights competitive all the time. They managed to get 3 points to start with, but then tries from McKnight and Gregor Hiddleston, the hooker, have put Stirling County not exactly home and dry, but certainly in a much more comfortable position than they were halfway through the first half. At half-time, it's Southern Knights 3, Stirling County 12.
Welcome back to the Greenyards. We have a half-time score after 40 minutes of pulsating rugby here. It's Stirling County are ahead by 12 points to 3. The Southern Knights, a frustrating start to this match, and they are behind after some dominant play from the visitors. Good to have you with us. It's a lovely evening here, a great 40 minutes of rugby, but not if you're a Southern Knights fan. If you're a county fan, you'll be happy, but Ciaran, Beattie, goodness me, that's it's been an impressive performance from Stirling County in that first 40.
It has, very clinical, very clinical. They've played some a really attacking rugby. I love the fact that they're on their own line, they're defending really well. They get the ball and then they're trying to go up the other end of the pitch, 80 metres, no problem whatsoever. So it's great considering the conditions we've got as well, and it's everything about this FOSROC Super 6 series we've seen already.
Absolutely, yeah, they're trying to play open rugby, aren't they? Both sides are playing, open attacking rugby, and I guess Stirling are just, they're physical, their tackling's amazing, they've been defending resolutely, and they deserve the win at half time, don't they?
Yeah, it's about right. I think Southern Knights, they're definitely still in this game, obviously. I think the difference, we said it in comms there, I think the difference is these unforced errors, and we said it at the top of the programme, Southern Knights, very young team. I think Bruce Ruthven said 60% of their squad is are new turnover, so unforced errors may happen. Unforced errors are probably, because they're not used to playing at this level, that's what we're seeing, and this is probably the result, and that's why they're 12-3 behind at the minute.
The Super 6 is all about developing these young players, though, isn't it? But let's talk about the first try then. Stirling it was that got it. Great work from Logan Trotter, but and a pretty cool try too.
It was. They earned it as well. Their forwards did some great work. Ewan Cunningham at the back pulling the strings, and Logan Trotter cool as a cucumber. Just that little double pump, last play of the ball there. Just managed to put Ross McKnight away for the easiest run-in of his season, no doubt.
And it's quite interesting because obviously, you see that Southern Knights had their defence set there, but it was just nice, just holding the ball long enough for the defenders were committed, and a fine try as well, and worthy of the dominance that County had at that point.
Yeah, they were well worth their try at that point, weren't they? They defended well in their own line. They then built these phases. As I said, that wasn't just a flash in the pan try. That was built off a training ground, off a phase play, and Ross McKnight for an easy walk-in.
Like, talking about things that were kind of worked out off the training field, the second try was an extraordinary one, wasn't it? it was just beautiful to see. But this all came from a line out. But County had some pretty good build-up play as well, and they run with the ball very well and sort of, passing at the right time.
Yeah, I think they're pulling the trigger nicely at the right time. They're mixing it up there, getting some good go forward with their pack there, and then, as I say, Ewan Cunningham just demanding the ball at the right time. And Eddie Pollock, the forwards coach, will be delighted with that. Absolutely delighted. Brilliant, but very cute from them in terms of staying on the ground there. I think Southern Knights have had the dominance in both set piece, in line out and scrum there, so to actually stay on the ground and then the confidence to run that, when that's the first time they had that line out 5 metres from the line, and to run that and then execute it and then nail the conversion from the touchline, that's a big boost for them. Right,
so we've talked positives about Stirling County, but what about the positives from the Southern Knights in that first 40?
Well, I think the fact that they've actually coughed up a fair bit of ball. They've had unforced errors, and they're still only 9 points behind here, actually. So some resolute defence, some really good tactical kicking as well. Cammy Scott, I think it just shows the difference here. He's had some excellent kicks. The one that doesn't quite go right, Logan Trotter's banging that down the touchline, and then they're defending in their own 22. So there's just that skill execution that we're seeing the difference there. But Southern Knights well in at 9 points, and actually they'll have their little purple patch where it's just about can they get something from that purple patch? How much can they get from that purple patch?
And they will know that Stirling County will drop out of the game at some point, because that's what County do. They give up. Last week against Ayrshire, they're exactly the same. There were 20 minutes where Ayrshire had the ball, but County managed to hang in there. So there will be a point where the Southern Knights have that advantage, and they can push, maybe sort of start pulling the trigger then.
Yeah, I think we speak a lot about it in teams, is actually how much do you gain from your purple patch in a game, because it always happens, but also how much can you shore up in that purple patch? Can Stirling County slow that down? We've not seen Jacob Henry on the ball yet. That's going to be exciting when he gets into it, especially in the second half when defenders are a bit more tired, and it's very tight. Who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows what's going to happen? And they look at that. That's the Eildon Hills there. They're over the Greenyards. It's a beautiful evening. There's a wee horse enjoying all the action here as we are on Free Sports. Second half, big second half coming up after this short break. Welcome back to the Greenyards, one of the most picturesque grounds in the country. We've had 40 minutes of rugby between Southern Knights and Stirling County. It's the visitors who have the advantage. The future's so bright for them, they have to wear shades. 12 points County and 3 points to the Knights. The Knights affair drawn in right here at the Greenyards. Enjoy the second half in the company of Ciaran, Beattie and Hugh MacLennan.
Thank you, Dougie, and I hope you enjoy your new home in the Borders, which you're obviously angling for, and doing a very fine job of describing the magnificent setting here at the Greenyards tonight. Southern Knights still competitive in this game, 3 points to 12 in arrears. They need to cut out the unforced errors. They need to try and stifle the Stirling County attacks, which have been pretty relentless at times, and they've shown with their second try from Gregor Hiddleston that they have plenty in the playbook from the training ground as well that they can add to the mix, and they could go top of the table tonight, of course. Bonus point win would put them above Heriots, and the big games to come tomorrow: Barramuir Bears versus Watsonians at 2 o'clock, Ayrshire Bulls against Heriots at 4:30, all live on BBC iPlayer and the Scottish Rugby website in this FOSROC Super6 Week 3 of the sprint competition. And Stirling County first out. We'll try and establish whether there are any changes. It looks as if they're all present and correct, or at least as they were at half time going in. There's the second try scorer, Gregor Hiddleston. And there, the view that has sent Mr. Vipond into raptures. Now the Southern Knights will have got a clear message, I think. that they need to cut out the errors. Number 23, Jacob Henry there, has come on in place of Ian Sim. And they also lost number 5, Daniel Sudden, and he was replaced by 19, Rory Knott, which did disrupt them early on. However, Knights in white.
Good.
Stirling County in their traditional hoop colours. And the match set underway by Cammy Scott, who's had a very promising first half with Ben Afshar on the 9 and 10 pivot.
What's that? Yeah, take a step.
And it'll be interesting to see if words were had about the line out, because there have been occasions when Stirling County's performance hasn't been as sharp as they would want it, for sure. So I'm now rejoined by Ciaran, who has sprinted, as he is wont to do, from his meeting with Dougie down at the touchline. So basically the Knights need to cut out the errors and they need to score next, I think, now.
Don't change.
They do. I think the unforced errors, as we said in the first half there, that it seems to be the difference at the minute. But it is a young Southern Knights team, and errors will be coming. But here we go, great attacking position now.
And Jacob in, it's number 11. It's a high tackle on Patrick Anderson, Paddy Anderson. And we've got, there is a change there of Murray Redpath. Afshar has left. Just to confirm that. So here's Murray Redpath immediately into the action. Scrum half, the other replacement. Oh, and that's a penalty on the line. Or is he given the try, actually? He's given the try. I thought he had recalled that, but he's given the try. Well, that's prescient of me to say they needed to score next. So it's Rennick. Who else? It was always going to be Fraser Rennick, wasn't it?
What a start from Southern Knights here. That's some team talk.
I thought that actually I thought it had been spilled there, but in fact Rennick had nabbed it and snuck it over the line beautifully.
Again, the confidence of Fraser Rennick there to not clear, to see that the ball's available and just to pick and play, and the skill to do that at pace as well. Again, we're talking him up, but he's fully deserved of it, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's the reality of the way he's playing. And the other change is evident there. Nathan Chamberlain has come on at standoff. So what they've done is switched the 9 and 10 combination completely, with Chamberlain coming on. Just watching him where he is. Although they have, no, I'm just trying to sort this out, because number 10 is still on. Cammy Scott is still on.
I think Cammy Scott will have moved to 12. He's quite comfortable there. Nathan Chamberlain to 10. I think that's Robbie Chalmers who's hit the touchline.
Yeah, we'll just confirm that, but we think it's Robbie Chalmers, number 12, who has left the field. We're pretty sure of that. So, Stirling, over to you. It's a 2-point game all of a sudden. And this is testing again. Again, testing the Knights' depth of their squad and their ability to soak up change, you know, moving Cammy Scott into the middle.
That's you.
And that again, that gives them a different kicking option, you know, having that left-footed player further in.
It's a good way of playing here. They've got two kind of half-backs in there. You know, when we see that, it just opens it up slightly. They can play off both, either side, as you say, left and right footer. Cammy Scott adapt to both.
It's well taken, and bursting through Borthwick, having another immense game. As we mentioned earlier, the spine of the scrum is excellent. They have an advantage to play here. Meanwhile, on the wing, it's a flying forward there. Ball has gone to ground. It's scrappy now. They were playing an advantage, but they've lost it. All of a sudden, Stirling, and they've shown before they're prepared to run from here, from this kind of distance. They had one length of the field try last week, so it's not beyond them to do it again.
You're outside.
So the Knights need to be careful. The ball is outside the 22-metre line. Of course, the slightly changed circumstance in the second half now of playing under the lights, the shadows lengthening here at the Greenyards. Great tackle. He still bounced out of it. Redpath. Different dimension with Chamberlain playing at 10.
Hold red. Still in.
Redpath has a look. Isaac brace. This time he's set back on his heels.
Stay. Use 9.
Redpath goes high. Here's Logan Trotter, elusive running. Splendid, absolutely splendid. Ian man on the outside, still got him. He's still going. Wonderful tackle by Clark. Wonderful tackle by Clark, and there's an injury to the Stirling County player.
Still inside.
Pretty sure that was Fifita. Fifita has taken one on his arm. He's in some distress at the moment. The game is going on though. Oof. There's a boot loose now as well, and the boot is dispatched into the stand. Meanwhile, the game rages on. The boots come back. And Fifita is in some trouble.
You've got advantage.
We'll come back to him. He's down in the corner in front of the stand.
Yeah.
Being taken off.
You're fine, but we go for no arms tackle back here.
He will be taken off now, and there's a no arms tackle. Well, that was a blistering piece of play on both sides. And Fifita looks like he's finished. Looks like he's taken one on the forearm or the shoulder, I think.
What an opening 6 minutes to the second half. Wow. Mazy run there from Logan Trotter. We know we're talking him up a lot, but real mazy run there from him. He's just showing all the skills, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just got such a fluid running movement. And he's a tall guy, you know, he needs to get all the moving parts in the right place. And
make the subs if you want, yeah.
Right, it looks like we're going to have a battery of changes here now. Fifita's definitely gone. The penalties for a no arms tackle. So we've got 23 coming on. Mike Gray is making his debut for Stirling County. That's number 23. So he will be a replacement for Fifita, and that's a debut for him.
Mike Gray's 13 by trade, 12-13 by trade, but comfortable in the wing. He's an abrasive character as well, so he'll not be afraid to carry, especially on this pitch with a bit of space.
Finlay Burgess has come on as well, 21. I would imagine that's for Russell.
Yeah.
So Finlay Burgess is on at the back of the scrum there as well. Both teams beginning to ring the changes, some off necessity. Do you think the Southern Knights 9-10 change was tactical? Neither of them were doing much wrong, you would have thought?
No, not at all, actually. And sometimes, again, we're praising Bruce Rutherford for he's using his squad, isn't he? He's got Nathan Chamberlain on the bench, he brings him on. Murray Redpath, who's a completely different type of 9, just rolls him off the bench and backing him as well.
So, options, and no doubt with a look towards the longer distance, not just tonight's game. All valuable game time for all the players concerned. Well, that was a bit of a midden eventually, but a bit of an arm wrestle, I suppose you could say. But Southern Knights, I'm really impressed with their physicality tonight. I have to say that they really are mucking in.
Yeah, we've spoke about it a couple of times here. This pack is probably the more experienced to the Southern Knights team, and actually they're keeping them foothold in this game with their scrum, their line out, and there's their maul defence there as well, and it's allowing Southern Knights to stay in this game. And what we'll hopefully see is that the game will open up because of it with a bit of fatigue as well. So we'll get the Stirling backline versus this Southern Knights pack. Interesting battle ahead.
Yeah, and you wouldn't put it past Jacob Henry, Billywana. You know, if they get a bit of, well, they're not going to get much daylight or sunshine. It's going to be aim for the scoreboard is what they need to do, which is glistening in the evening.
Never on the ball.
Light.
Leave him now. Yes. 10 off him. Off him. Back he come. Use.
Redpath will go for the edge of the pitch. Oh, no. Well, this is going to be a big call. A big call.
Time off. Lads.
I think it's fairly clear what happened. Player goes in the air.
I've seen it. We've seen it.
Other player is coming in. We need to have a look at that again, I think, just to be sure of ourselves. I don't think there was any intent at all there, Ciaran.
He's come in.
We just listen to the referee.
Yeah, landed on his neck. He's not been in a position to catch the ball.
Landed on his neck, so looking at red cards.
Yes.
Okay, 23.
Well, we're looking at a red card here, Ciaran, unfortunately, because he landed on his neck was the crucial difference.
Taken him out in the air, and he's landed on his neck, so it's going to be a red card.
Well, that is first concern is to the player who landed on his neck, clearly, and then Jacob. There's no ill feeling between either player there, clearly, Ciaran, but I mean, you had a very close view of that. It was right beside us.
I think Mike Gray's there shaking his hand there because he knows Jacob's coming there unsighted.
Yeah.
Mike Gray's done a great job getting in the air and he's put him under real pressure. But unfortunately, by the letter of the law, he's absolutely spot on there. Jacob Henry, if he's unsighted, he needs to think safety first there. Yeah. So red card.
Well, that could be a big turning point in the game, or a decisive element of the game, if we can put it that way. Because there's a long way to go now. Half an hour still for the Knights to play. A man down. And Stirling will just play themselves into the game now. Try and expose that numerical weakness.
Timing was fine.
And the Knights just need to steady the ship. Out on the wing, there's an opportunity for Stirling already. They make the break up the middle though. Desperate defence now from the Southern Knights.
Ball was out.
Stirling of Mike Gray screaming for the ball. He was involved in the... I'm not suggesting for a minute it was that controversial, but there's another injury in the middle of the Southern Knights defence, which they'll have to be careful about. Here's Gray again. I see what you mean about him being abrasive. He's looking for work all the time. There's extra men here. Oh, and that's fumbled. Trotter gets it eventually, and they'll go back for the advantage and the injury in front of the Southern Knights posts. And another sub coming on, 16 coming on for Stirling County is Angus Fraser.
I know obviously for red cards, players have reacted to that, need them to calm down.
Stirling County seem to be falling in the trap of, they think there's more space than there is now. There's 14 men on the Southern Knights pitch and they're now throwing loopy balls there. They just need to go through their processes. They need,
as I said, they need to work into the game rather than just blindly have a burst.
Absolutely, these loopy passes will just play into the Southern Knights' hands. They just need to do what they were doing and earn the right to go there, because there will be more opportunity now because there is more space in the pitch. And we see Mike Gray get his hands on the ball early there. He's not shy of contact, is he?
Yeah. And I think we're going to lose Marcus Holden, are we? Doesn't look at all comfortable there. He's coming off for Stirling County, number 12.
Yeah,
it's a bit of carnage. It's like carnage out there just now. There's bodies everywhere. But
ready, we get going.
Just confirmation there that Jacob Henry as the player sent off.
It's over here, he'll be on the 15.
As Ciaran said, by the letter of the law,
It's
he had a
offside.
duty of care not to do what he did, I suppose, is the simple nub of it. So all these injuries will disrupt things, clearly, Ciaran. This is going to test both squads.
It will. I wonder how Stirling are going to shuffle their backline now.
So that is
Over
Holden
here, yes, so we had back 10.
going off.
Happy?
Has he got a replacement?
Perfect.
He's still
It's only half an hour.
struggling to get.
Well, yeah.
No, he's staying
Okay,
on, I
water
think.
off, please. Penalties here, set back 10.
And Rory Knott has been patched up, number
Penalty,
19 for the
offside.
Southern Knights. So Holden is staying on, remarkably. Herpling. So, back to where we were.
That's you.
Penalty to Stirling County. Fine attacking position. 2-point game. They'll go down the corner.
Okay, that's you.
He's in a quietish game, if I can put it that way, Cunningham, isn't he, Ciaran? He's not kind of imposed himself in the game that much, is he?
He's not, but I've been very impressed to steady away,
Yeah.
just doing all the off-the-ball stuff that a good 10 does. Orchestrating.
Big shove.
Tackle!
Great defence from the Knights. Another rumble, and this time he's in. This time he's in.
He's allowed one movement to place it.
Yeah, there was no stopping him that time. It's number 3, Lewis Skinner. Yep. From that range, Lewis Skinner, unstoppable.
I'm left-handed with my whistle.
It's potentially a big moment in the game, that, because Stirling County could have easily taken the 3 points. I was quite surprised there that they went for the touchline when it was a 2-point game, but again, backing their line out, backing their drive, and they've come up with a reward here.
Well, at the end of the day, it's been the right decision. Fully vindicated by securing the points. And now Marcus Holden, who I had condemned to the touchline just 3 minutes ago, is going to try and pop this one over. Injured leg or no injured leg. Well, I'm not so sure that was the best decision to leave that kick to him. But who would, well, surely they have another potential kicker, do they?
Yeah, I think Ewan Cunningham, Logan Trotter can both step up to the mark. I'm sure they will.
Cunningham for sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we are where we are. Southern Knights 10, 17 only, because this kick failed, and you can see how much pressure he was under there. So it's 10 to 17, and we're in the 54th minute of this FOSROC Super 6 Sprint Week 3 match at the Greenyards. Oof. Wonderful tackle in midfield. Rennick again, he's pivotal in everything that's good about the Southern Knights. Bang! This is like pinball. It's been relentless from both sides. Both sides are to be commended for their physicality. It's all going to come down to a bit of a ruction, isn't it? But there's always a 10 or a 22 who'll steady the ship. What a wonderful kick. What a wonderful kick that is.
Back. It was taken back.
From deep, but you see the way he balanced himself, just pulled back a little bit, took a bit off it.
Meat inside this half, so
I think that was about a foot inside the line.
Absolute pinpoint from Nathan Chamberlain, showing his class there. You've mentioned him already in this second half. He has made a big impact since coming on again. Kind of like Ewan Cunningham, just organising at the back there, but actually they're hands on ball and actually making a direct impact.
And the decision making is fantastic.
Very good.
He could have done anything there, but he chose exactly the right option. Stirling have dealt well with the line out, though.
That's once. Okay, 9.
Here it comes. And given what's happened,
Tackle!
I fancy some players are being just a bit careful when they go for the high ball at the moment. And they saw what happened to Jacob Henry.
9, quiet. Ripped in the tackle.
They've been ripped. Here comes Stirling. Trotter turns inside. He's always looking for someone running with him. The difficulty he's got is he's usually so far ahead of everyone. Back to basics, head down, charge through. It's all getting a bit frenetic. Scragged in midfield, Southern Knights have it. Not now, they've lost it. Thought they had it, but Stirling never retrieved it. Rory Campbell advising. He's had an excellent game in the middle. We haven't seen much of him, we've heard him, and he's been decisive, he's been clear, and he's kept the game moving. And here's another option, and a good chase. Chamberlain's after it. Oh, and he's got it. He's got the advantage. What a wonderful chase as well. That was right on the money.
Yeah, great kick. Absolutely great kick. He's made it land right on the Stirling player's hands just as he's arriving, putting massive pressure on him there. So, yeah, again, Nathan Chamberlain putting his stamp on this game.
A lovely wee touch from the referee when he said to Isaac Brace, "You're being subbed, are you tired?" It's been replaced by number 17, Corey Bowker.
Okay, time off, whilst we wait.
Corey Bowker, 20s last year, in what was a tough campaign, but a guy who really improved through that campaign. You know, it was there's some real success stories within that, despite the results, and he was definitely one of them.
I saw him up in Edinburgh a couple of weeks ago, the first game. He put himself about quite a bit. I think he had come in as a late starter, if I remember, in that game. He was thrown in at the deep end.
That's right. I think he's a bit late to the game. Really, I think he's played a bit more rugby league. He's saying so. He's actually a really good ball player for a prop. Yeah, modern day prop, I suppose.
Well, Ben Cairns and his, they've not had it easy. I don't think they rolled up here thinking they would get it easy, but this has been a tough test of their credentials following last week's win.
It's been a sticky second half for them, hasn't it? I think the red card's actually thrown them a little bit in terms of...
As it often does.
Yes, they're now trying to just throw that ball into space rather than actually just continuing to do what they were doing so well in the first half here as well. As you said, the changes as well. It always changes things in a game, and it disrupts the flow of a game. And probably Southern Knights have benefited from their changes more so, especially with Nathan Chamberlain coming on.
Yeah, that's changed the dynamic of the scrum. But Dalton Redpath is, I'm not saying fit and raring to go, because he's putting up again himself and Daniel Sudden. He was only on for 20 minutes, but they're so important in the middle of the Southern Knights scrum, and they coped well with that change with Rory Knott coming on. They've depended a lot on Borthwick as well. Borthwick and Rennick, with Redpath in between them, is quite a force.
Bind!
So Murray Redpath has it.
Staying straight, Knights.
They're managing to hold them. They need to use it. Out it goes, Chamberlain. And a nice step inside. He just unfortunately carried his own man with him, but Chamberlain again is that link to the left wing. Transferring again. Rudy Brown. He's making his first start tonight. And he's again, he's a big unit.
Don't celebrate him.
Sub last week.
Celebrate a try, it's not that.
Just spilled the ball. It took 2 to get him down, though.
I think he's just trying to be a bit too clever there. Realises the tackler's release and tries to get back up. And just think context of the game, where they are, what's happening there. That's a moment where he's probably needing to just set up and let his back line go to work.
So where they are is 20 minutes left. They're 7 points adrift. They're in a 1 point losing bonus territory. which would be the first one
Binds.
they would have got in this series.
Set.
But it's a try, a one-try game at the moment. And the red card there obviously signalling that the Knights are playing with 14 men. Chamberlain prepared to do his fair share of the hard work. And Borthwick grinding it out.
Your players came in, he's there.
He's been at the heart of a lot of the good things for Southern Knights, hasn't he? He's, whether that's carrying ball, whether it's putting his head in the tough contacts, he's doing it.
So yeah, I'd like to see the physio's stats tonight. They've had a busy night, the whole lot of them. And down he goes down the touchline. That's a beaut. I thought you'd got a bit more.
Inside, yeah. Just inside.
The assistant referee on the stand side. Not been overly generous with his judgment there, perhaps. But no complaints from Fraser Rennick.
6. White, you're on the line.
Too far out for a rumble.
I don't know what the Southern Knights pack, they'll maybe back themselves, especially with a man down in the backs. Maybe try and eke out another penalty, a bit of advantage, and then maybe release the backs.
Here they go. Guess who's at the back?
That's once.
Ball safely tucked under his right arm. See there the effort.
No. I was at the back. He was at the back. Tackle! It's the tackle release.
They still have it. It's untidy and they've lost the momentum, but they still have it. They can set up again.
No hands.
If they can get the bodies back.
Advantage.
And they've got that penalty you were looking for, Ciaran.
Tackle assist.
Oh, and just forcing the passes, and that's
tackle assist, no clear release.
They know it. They know it. They didn't need to force that pass.
Assist, no clear release.
But then they had, I suppose, psychologically, they knew the penalty. This is how they got it, Ciaran.
No, he had broken away, so it's a tackle.
Yeah, very clever. Just using that wily forward pack, just take that out, and then they can have a crack there.
So you would think that Chamberlain could get them further down this time.
Yeah.
I think he's cracked it this time.
Okay. Okay, that's your mark.
Okay.
Lifters.
I'm not a rocket scientist, but I think Fraser Rennick's going to go for this.
You wouldn't bet against it, would you?
No. He delivers the ball first. The jump is good.
No.
There he goes in, he's burrowing in, looking for the ball. He's got it already. He's got it already. They need a few more bodies in there, though. He has a quick look. Quick look. He's got Bowker beside him. He's been turned back.
9. Use it.
They need to use it now, though.
Broken
there it
away.
goes. They've broken away. They've lost it, though. And they've won it back. Oh, Stirling. Great defence. Great defence from Stirling. What an arm wrestle that was. Superb.
We've praised this Stirling attack all night, but actually when you talk about these big moments in the game, a lot of them have occurred on their own 5-metre line, haven't they? Yeah. And they've shored up, they've stopped this Southern Knights team.
Yeah, and Ben Cairns was very illuminating on how important that was last week in terms of their victory against the Ayrshire Bulls, where they had that 20-minute session where they had nothing but defence.
Yep, yep, and it's often those are the moments. We see the sparkly bits, don't we? We see Logan Trotter breaking these gaps, but actually,
for every one of those, there's 3 or 4 of this.
Absolutely, absolutely. The bits you probably don't want to be doing as a rugby player, but make a big difference.
It's not always the backs that win the games.
Not always.
They need to execute here.
Set.
They need to get out, and the Knights need to keep them here. Good shunt. Oh, but they've broken away. Broken away spectacularly. So one way to clear your line. Now they have the option.
No. Hold.
There's a couple of players beginning to blow here. They're feeling the pace, Ciaran, and this is going to be, for the next 15 minutes, this is going to be about willpower as much as anything else. Who wants to win this most?
It is, and it's about having that calm head in this moment as well, because there's 15 minutes left, as you say. It's a 7-point game. There's a red card here. It's just thinking, right, context of the game, what needs to happen? Can the halfback step up and really control this?
Sorry, Ciaran, number 3 for Stirling, Lewis Skinner, is being replaced by John McKenna, number 17.
The ball's out at that point.
Of course, the use of the subs is as critical as anything at this stage in the game.
They got the ball really quickly that time.
I think you've nailed it. There's a few guys blown out there now, so subs are crucial at this point.
Heavy legs. Mistakes start to creep in, although to be fair, I bet you the error count that we spoke so much about at half-time on the Southern Knights side is, I think, pretty much been done and dusted. I think they've done well with it.
16 minutes to go.
Yeah, and hence why they're in this game now, and hence why it's pretty even ball game despite the red card, actually. You had Nathan Chamberlain in there as well, and it's a tasty tussle.
It's got to favour Stirling at this stage because of the timing and the red card advantage, but I wouldn't like to stake too much on it, because I do think both teams have players who are capable of one spectacular interception or something like that could sort it out. It's James Pow.
Time on.
I don't think we've mentioned too often, but again, he's done his shift in the boiler house for Stirling. So it's back to the Knights, however. 15 minutes or thereabouts to go.
Let's go.
Again, that line out is over the piece worked very, very well for the Knights. They've contested well when it's been Stirling's ball.
Watch Stirling.
Chamberlain. Oof. Well, Holden took a huge hit there trying to stop that tackle.
Careful, guys. Careful.
Yeah, the referee is saying careful, and don't blame him, because there's some huge hits going in there.
Great jackal technique for DJ Innes there as well.
Yeah.
He's one of these guys again. There's a couple of blokes we've not mentioned too much in comments, but he's had a very good steady away game, and there's another big moment in the game for him.
Yeah, he came on at half-time last week, and I think, again, that takes us back to that thing that Ben Cairns was talking about, the tackling and all that. A lot of it came through him in the middle of the field. Quick line out. Oh, that's intercepted. That's what I was talking about. Things can go wrong at this stage in the game, and it went wrong for Stirling County there through their own over-exuberance with a quick throw. Now the Knights have it. A loose pass. Favourable bounce.
Tackle!
Clark takes it in. Here comes Rennick. It takes a hit and a half to put him down. Wallace Nelson rumbling around.
Leave it.
And still they come, they have extra men here. Oh, and again.
Flying off the feet, no attempt to stay up.
Player taking the ball in, off his feet.
Flying through.
Again, Stirling defence.
There you go.
Yeah, I think they've made a special effort to deal with Paddy Anderson as well. Every time he's got the ball, he's made about 6 feet.
We've
hardly mentioned him, have we?
Well, he's been putting his back every single time.
Yep, because he's a player that never accepts that first tackle, is it?
Yeah, they've identified him as a huge threat. I think we have another change here.
So
that's number 4, Dalton Redpath, replaced by Didn't quite catch the number. We'll find it's 19. Rory Knott, we've got him anyway.
And it's James Bett that's come on there.
James Bett, number 16.
Play advantage, knock on.
Knights have it. So James Bett is on. Chamberlain changed his mind, different option. He's found some space. No, he hasn't. Because there was a Stirling County defender lurking with intent. Another big injury in midfield. They're going to have to be careful. 17. Referee allows the play to go on though, and Stirling come back that way, and the game will halt now because it was just about on top of the injury. And I know time is plodding on. Ciaran, I'll ask you just in your own mind to give some thought to player of the match, the FOSROC player of the match, and we'll come back to you for a decision shortly, but I'm sure I don't envy you tonight because there's been some outstanding performers on both teams.
There has, and a few unsung heroes, as we've said as well. We're only just mentioning them now, but putting a power of work throughout this game. It's been good.
They're beginning to, the breakages are becoming a bit more frequent. You know, the injuries are coming thick and fast at the moment. Physios earning their corn tonight, keeping these guys on their feet. We think loads of encouragement for Southern Knights out of this, no matter what happens in the next few minutes. And I think they really have progressed since I saw them in the first game.
Yeah, it's been a massive second half for them, hasn't it? We were talking up Stirling so much there and probably thinking maybe they should have been ahead by about a little bit more. They've scored 5 points this second half, you know, and that's down to Southern Knights' defence, yes, but Southern Knights have controlled the ball, they've controlled territory. Some really clever kicks from Nathan Chamberlain. Murray Redpath, he's, for a young guy, he's one of the most mature nines on the game, actually, and he just controls these things, and he's so contextually aware sometimes. With 10 minutes to go, you wouldn't bet against it, would you?
No. And again, I think, you know, it will have its own value apart from any points for Ben Cairns, because this has told him a lot about his team in terms of following up on last week. A different set of problems, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, it was Stirling last season. I know we spoke about it a lot. There was a lot of games where they were on the wrong end of the result, but they thought, oh, they played well, but they couldn't quite put that 80-minute performance together, and we're kind of seeing shades of that again.
Yeah.
Now, whilst they're winning and they're playing some really good rugby, that will be a slight concern for Ben.
This is the point of no return, I'm afraid, here, because cramp in one leg has led to cramp in the other leg. Horrible feeling. You can see there how he's holding his legs stiffly. Coming on is number 21, I think it is, Aidan Cross. That's a debut for the Southern Knights.
Stirling, you have Mark. Take a meter.
So you'll see Paddy Anderson actually go down. I think he'll end up packing down if there's a scrum as well. He actually quite enjoys it. He enjoys the physical side to it.
Let's go.
Oh, and that's a big one. That's another big decision.
Option, captain. Scrum. Scrum.
Well, we're going to find out whether your analysis of the scrum was right, Ciaran, because here we go. Who are they going to load it with now? He's gone in already. Paddy Anderson, number 11. He's first in the queue. He fancies going in there. Now that's leaving them light on this side where he was. On the left.
Southern Knights have got 2 back row in their second row, a hooker at 8, and a wing
somewhere
at 7. So
and a big hole in the back line.
Yeah. So if this stays square, fair play to them.
Set. Steady. Stay up. Stay up.
Well, they've done well. They've done well because they've snaffled it. They've done more than well, but they've given away a penalty. Oh dear. That's great work on the ground by
it's fine. The ball's under you, so you can go for the body.
Mike Gray. The abrasive Mike Gray. That's exactly what he does, isn't it? It's on the tin.
He's had a good 40 minutes, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He just dived in there. So a chance now. This could be the chance for Stirling to put the game beyond reach.
Just inside, Sam. I'll put them on this point. See?
Numbers. 6 is called.
Okay.
6 is called.
Got it.
Quick.
Mo. Advantage.
Penalty coming.
Play advantage line. Use.
Stirling have a penalty. Now they need just a cool, calm
Advantage offside.
set of decisions here.
Tackle.
Another penalty coming, I think. Great defence again by the Knights. They have given them nothing. Slight change of tactic. Chamberlain has to be careful. Well done. Well done.
Captain, you have the option.
Cool, calm head from Chamberlain there, because it would have been so easy to pick it up and be carried over or whatever. But they're back to the penalty.
Yeah, okay.
Take the points, put it beyond reach.
Number 8 inside.
Or go for the touch line and put it beyond reach.
Try bonus potentially now.
Well, that's the territory. They've got 3 tries, so that's a good call. That's where they're going. He hasn't overcooked it. I just thought the way he looked at it for a moment there, I thought Trotter had maybe done something silly, but he's back in his position at fullback there. Oh, and they've completely fluffed that. Goodness me.
Just a knock on the line-up. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Just checking the decision.
Careful.
It looks as if...
White still be there, Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Sam.
White knock-on, so Stirling, they got away with one there. They got out of jail.
I don't know if Grant Shields knew too much about that, but he's managed to stop one of those tricky Stirling plays again.
Scrum.
That is a perfect attacking position, isn't it, really?
It is, and as we said, the Southern Knights pack's now dismantled, and it's going to be a big effort.
Stay straight,
okay. Perfect attacking position for Stirling County to possibly finish the game with less than 8 minutes left. Because surely that would then put it beyond the Southern Knights' reach.
Set! Steady.
They've made them work every second of this game. Even that. See, the danger, I suppose, is you get greedy here and you try and drive them and go for an early shove or something.
Well, we've kind of seen that. That's been typical of Stirling's play. They've tried too much rather than just doing what they did well in that first half, actually, just basics. And hopefully they'll learn their lesson.
Crouch! Binds!
Well, they've got another option. Off they go. Off they go. Tired legs.
Hold.
The recycle. Out they go. Oh, and another huge tackle.
Holds, White.
White being held back. Referee warning the Knights that they're encroaching. The blitz defence, they have to try everything. They're throwing the kitchen sink.
White.
Out it comes. They've got Trotter available.
Release,
in he goes. They want Trotter out of there.
Ball's out. Lost now. Lost now, White. Lost. Advantage.
Penalty coming.
Leave it, White.
The last thing they want is a yellow card, but they're in trouble. Stirling a man down, I think. Out it goes. There's bodies lying about everywhere at the moment. They go for the kick option to the wing. It's well taken.
Knock on.
Down, and he's knocked it
on.
on.
We go back for the penalty.
Well, Well, I think, Ciaran, very quickly we can have your decision. FOSROC Super 6 player of the match is
Logan Trotter. He's been everywhere tonight. Every time he's touched the ball, there's been a bit of magic. He's just made things happen, especially in that first half. And even tonight, in the second half, he's tidied a lot up out the back. So FOSROC Super 6 player of the match, Logan Trotter.
2 weeks in a row.
Backing up a good performance.
Yep.
Good player.
That's what you want from your good players, better performances. So I'll let you go down and you can speak to Dougie. So thank you for your company, and I'll catch up with you later. And you can talk about the Eildon Hills with Dougie for the remainder of the evening. Thanks. See you later.
Taking forward,
So it's still hanging in the balance, in the sense that the bonus point is still there for Stirling if they can eke it out. They've got another great attacking position here.
Bind!
And I wouldn't bet against Trotter putting the icing on the cake. Just to complete the performance. He's out there in the middle of the field. But they're in trouble now. They're in trouble. There's a penalty coming. Penalty coming. Now he's going to. The referee's shown great patience. He's shown great patience. I think he's giving them the benefit of the doubt because of the position they're in, Southern Knights. So they're going to go for the scrum again. That's predictable because they know they've got Southern Knights on the ropes. The clock is still offering them 4 minutes. The issue is, can they get the 4th try in that 4-minute period, which would send them to the top of the table in the Super 6 Sprint Series. It's absolutely vital that they get the timing right here, Stirling, that they don't rush the shove.
Steady.
He needs to get the scrum steady.
Too much movement from both sides. Too much movement. Hold your weight.
Good clear instruction from Rory Campbell.
Okay, up we come. Let's keep going.
Another go. Now it's 3 minutes. This is where coaches start to bite their nails.
Crouch!
I'm sure Ben Cairns' heart rate is fluttering just a bit quicker.
Hold.
Because he'll want that bonus point. It could be very, very important when it comes to the split.
Use it.
They're coming left. Again, Southern Knights swarm all over them.
Off now, White.
Wonderful tackling.
Hold.
Again, they go through. Missed the tackle there. Now Stirling have men. They've got a whole raft of players out here on this side. And that's taken in the middle, and that's the bonus try. That is the bonus try. And it's not Trotter, it's number 13. It's DJ Ennis who has completed the job for Stirling County, and I suppose in a way
2 minutes.
That was
restart.
Inevitable because the pressure was there, the red card, the scrum in disarray.
2 minutes.
Eventually told, and Trotter was there on the outside, still available. So enough is enough. They have secured the bonus point with that try and the possibility of 2 more to come, and Marcus Holden will be in no hurry whatsoever to run the clock down. He's survived everything with his sore knee and everything else, and he's been teetering on the brink. I had him on the touchline at one point. But here he is. There's the view. What a view of his kick. And fair play to Southern Knights. They gave it everything to try and distract him. But it's gone over. He's added the 2 more just to make sure. So it's Southern Knights 10. Stirling County 24.
Say that again.
Looks like there's another sub.
Time's off. Guys.
Time is still off.
15. 15.
15, it's 15 Logan Trotter, the FOSROC Super6 player of the
12.
match.
12.
Or is it?
It's off. 12 sub.
It's 12.
Anyone else? Is that it?
It's number 12. It's Holden, in fact.
We're playing on now.
And he's being replaced by Callum Beckett, who makes his debut.
Not now. Not now. No, let's keep them off. They wait long enough.
And also
5 and 8.
5 and 8.
5 and 8.
Oh, there's total confusion here.
Get them off. 18.
19 and 20 coming on for Stirling County.
Time is always off.
And 19 is Callum Norrie, remarkably the 17-year-old from Strathallan School, making his debut. Scotland under-20 player. And Jake Spurway, obviously Stirling County coach, trying to give these guys their debut, albeit for a minute or thereabouts. What a night for Callum Norrie to join the club.
Yes.
Not saying he's not played with the big boys before, but this is serious stuff now. And having played for the under-20s, he's perfectly capable of handling himself in this kind of circumstance. The clock is still short of the 80 minutes. We've got another sub from the Southern Knights. Grant Shields leaves the field for the last few seconds, and coming on is number 18, Bruce Riddle.
Okay. Come.
A chance to
Last play.
Get his shirt dirty. I'm not so sure you do on a 4G pitch, but he gets to be part of it. So unfortunately, the Knights are going to leave with nothing.
You ready?
From the game, but significant improvement.
Binds.
A lot more togetherness. Certainly a much better side than I saw a few weeks ago, albeit in the most trying of circumstances for part of the second half. Oh, and they've run out of time, I think, now. The clock has run, and I think the referee, Rory Campbell, has in fact agreed that the clock has gone over the 80 minutes into the red zone. And the game is now complete, and Stirling County have done the business, albeit with a slightly sticky performance in the second half. And the Southern Knights can be genuinely proud of their effort in both halves, but particularly that second half where they really got stuck in, and they held Stirling County to 2 tries in each half. Ross McKnight, Gregor Hiddleston in the first half, and then Lewis Skinner and DJ Innes completing the job with the bonus point victory. So it's ended here at the Greenyards on a glorious night in the Borders. Southern Knights 10, Stirling County 24.
Welcome back. Great win for Stirling County tonight at the Greenyards against the Southern Knights. 10 points to the home side, 24 to the visitors, and a great win. Bonus point as well. And I'm delighted to now introduce the FOSROC Super6 player of the match, Logan Trotter, and Stirling County captain, Connor Gordon. Marcus, beg your pardon, Marcus. Sorry, I thought your Connor was coming across. Now, well, let's talk to you. First of all, Logan, a great performance. Second week in a row you've been player of the match. Great performance. You must be delighted.
Yeah, it's just good to see the boys out there playing how we can. I mean, we had sparks of it last season, but it's really starting to come together now. I mean, the boys playing with a lot of freedom, forward to front and up. It's just a fun environment to be around now.
Now, last week you were up against the Ayrshire Bulls, who are defending champions, and there was time in the second half where they had domination for about 20 minutes in the second half, but you kept in. Today as well, they scored in the second half. The Southern Knights scored in the second half, and you still just kept it cool. And you must be delighted the way that's going at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we do have to iron out. We do have these little lapses in concentration, but the way the boys stick in, it's just really great to see. I mean, the boys screw their heads on, and I think we're making it now. It's hard for teams to score against us. We're not just letting them walk over us. We're really making them work for points, which is pleasing.
Marcus, that that kind of physicality is pretty impressive as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got a real young team as well, so but they're young and physical, so hungry. So it's just good to see. We get excited about it, and then just the passion of the boys has just been unreal for us.
And you go to the top. You go to the top of the table as well. So I mean, I know there's a couple of games
till
this
tomorrow,
weekend, but it's a good place to be, right?
Yeah, great place to be for us. We've never beaten Southern Knights in the Super 6, so for us it's first time we've done that in the whole Super 6 competition. So yeah, we're really happy with that in the end.
And Logan, I remember watching you in Primary 3, so you're Southern County through and through. So I mean, it must be great to see the team coming through and playing as well as they are this season.
Yeah, I mean, like Marcus said, there's a lot of young boys in this squad now. We've got a good mix of some older boys as well, which is really driving these young boys up. I mean, it's giving them a lot of confidence. But yeah, it's just great to see, great to play.
And what do you think now? I mean, obviously, Heriots and Watsonians have had a 100% record so far. You guys have got a couple of wins now, so it's looking good. The split's coming fairly soon, so you've got to be up there, and you must be happy with that in terms of the performances over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we're going into games now, and there's not one game we think we can lose. I mean, we're going in, competing, and playing well, so I think it's ours to lose now.
Well, listen, congratulations, Logan Trotter. You are the FOSROC Super6 player of the match. Marcus Holden is your captain, one of the two captains in the club, of course. Connor Gordon is the other one. Excellent effort, boys. Yeah. Congratulations. A fantastic win for Stirling County. We'll talk about the highlights of the match after this short break. Welcome back. Fantastic win for Stirling County tonight at the Greenyards. Bonus point win by 24 points to 10 over the Southern Knights. And wonderful. Looking pretty good for all concerned. And that's the second week in a row that Stirling County have got a win. And I'm delighted that Ben Cairns, the county coach, is with us. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, really happy. We actually talked this week about making history. And that's the great thing about this Super 6 competition being in its infancy and being in it from the start, is you get opportunities every week almost to make history in some degree. That's our first ever win against the Southern Knights.
Of course it is, yeah.
So that's what we talked about all week, coming down here, making history. It's the only team we haven't beaten in Super 6. Southern Knights, the only team we haven't beaten in Super 6, so we've got that monkey off our back now.
I tell you, and you won it well as well. I mean, I think you dominated from start to finish, yeah?
Yeah, we were pleased. We were pleased with the control we showed. I thought the defensive effort sort of set the tone for the whole match. I think we could have been more accurate in attack and put a bit more pressure on them in the right areas. But every time we lost the ball, that next defensive set, we stood up well and got the ball back in good areas for us.
Now, of course, you were ahead at half-time, and then straight after half-time, Southern Knights scored a great try as well. So obviously a decent chat at half-time in their dressing room, and they, my goodness, you were maybe thinking, oh no, not counting going to drop out for a couple of minutes again, but you managed to get back in it fairly quickly.
Yeah, we talked about at half-time, it's coach's curse, isn't it? We talked about controlling the kick-off. Catching it and exiting, we didn't do that very well, and then we talked about tackle height and we give away a high tackle, I think, as part of this passage, and then they get over the line. So yeah, not the best start to the second half, but we managed to recuperate.
But it was impressive, Ciaran. It was impressive though, the way they got back into it. But I guess this yellow card it changed the Southern Knights in terms of what they were able to do, and you can't argue with that. That's it's going to be red. You just do not touch the player in the air.
Absolutely. I think we spoke about it in comms. Jacob Henry just slightly unsighted there, but he's got a duty of care if he is unsighted. So he's spot on. It's a red card. Mikey Gray was straight over to Jacob straight after, and I'm sure nobody's got any qualms with that. But it had an impact in the game. Ben, did you feel, I was kind of saying in comms there, I felt like when that happened, it kind of shook you guys as well, actually, in terms of you seemed to deviate away from your game plan for maybe a couple of minutes, and actually Southern Knights shored up a little bit. Was that something you felt, or did you just think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think sometimes those red cards galvanise the team that's been red carded. They know they need to dig in and sort of work really, really hard for each other, whether they were or not before. But they sort of, it galvanises them, and then we went off script a little bit. But I think we brought it back, got back into some decent shape, and obviously got the bonus point try at the end, which was nice.
So let's look at the bonus try, and it was well taken as well at the end of a dominant performance against what I know the Southern Knights are a team in transition, but to get that try into the way that you did it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was good. We weren't sure. I think this is the try before the bonus point, is it? So.
I beg your pardon. Sorry,
we thought we might go over from the maul. Don't quite make it, but Skinner's done really well to pick a bit wider here, get his head down and get over the line. So, really happy to finish that one off. We had a few other maul opportunities that we maybe didn't take, so it was nice to get that one.
Okay, so let's look at the bonus point try now. Despite me saying that, but I guess the physicality within the side was really, really good, and your fitness was there the whole game as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think bringing someone like Angus Fraser off the bench helped us in that regard as well, with his physicality, and having Benedict Grant, who we talked about before the game, number 8. I thought he added a lot of ball carrying ability to us. And look, I think that's an outstanding finish from DJ.
It certainly is.
He was down, folded in half. I thought he was coming off just before this play, and then he got back up and great line to finish.
It's amazing when you get a pass about 3 or 4 yards out, and it's amazing how you can get that spirit in your legs once again just to get over the line.
Totally. I think we kept doing that all game, to be honest. I kept looking around, there was bodies all over the place, and then we managed to get back up and go against, and it was great.
I just spoke to Logan Trotter, who of course is Stirling County through and through. I used to watch him when he was in primary school and playing for county and playing in these colours, and he's loving it. He's absolutely loving it, and he's a guy with a lot of talent, but he's just Stirling daft, isn't he?
He is, and look, I think we've got quite a few of those boys now. I think 40% of our squad came through our youth section, which is big for us. We talk about being homegrown first, and I think that's the catalyst for the performances we're putting in at the moment. Yeah,
well, we wish you all the best. It's great. You're top of the league for the start of the weekend anyway. There's a couple of big games coming up tomorrow, but for the moment, thanks Ben. It was a great performance, and congratulations once again.
Thank you. Cheers, guys. Thanks.
So let's just remind ourselves of what's happening tomorrow as well with that great win for Stirling County tonight. There you go. Southern Knights 10, Stirling County 24. The Boroughmuir Bears are up against Watsonians tomorrow. That's at 2 p.m. And then the Ayrshire Bulls welcome Heriot's Rugby to Ayr. That one kicks up at 4:30 p.m. You can watch both of them matches on the Scottish Rugby website. Let's see what it looks like. Played to Stirling County Heriot's Rugby. There you go. They're on double tops with Heriot's. Watsonians are also on a 100% record there at Stirling County. Will have played 3 there, so that's actually wrong. But Ayrshire Bulls down at the bottom. Southern Knights right towards the bottom. That's disappointing for them. So let's just reflect on that then, and what that means for Stirling County and what that means for the rest of the series.
I think Ben sort of underplayed that a little bit as well. It's not just the win there, it was actually the way in which they played as well. They're now playing some really attractive rugby, whereas we spoke a little bit about it in comms with Hugh there. It's Stirling last year were playing some good rugby in patches, but losing games. Now they're playing some good rugby for the majority of the game and coming out on top. It's now, for him, I think the next step in this team, this Stirling team that he's talking about, is that 80-minute performance, because they'll let Southern Knights come back into this game, didn't they? So great stuff from them. I think there's more to come as well.
Stirling County made history this evening here at the Greenyards. Will they make history in the series? We'll find out over the next couple of weeks. From Ciaran and me and all the team, thank you so much for your company. Bye for now.